Hello, my name is Sara Tinney, and this is going to be a professional development video for using graphic organizers, specifically the Frayer Model graphic organizer, within your classroom to help your students understand terms, concepts, and generally things that they're having a little bit of difficulty with. I'm creating this professional development video for EDSE 307, but it could apply to typically any classroom. So, as you can see, these images are graphic organizers. Now, these are all variations of the Frayer Model graphic organizer, which includes, as you can see, 4 boxes with the central term or concept in the middle. So what this does is it separates the info for students so that they can see it in a clear, categorized way, usually done with point form. It could be full sentences though, if that's what the students are comfortable with. You can really focus on any terms, concepts, vocabulary words. So this could apply to, like I said, any classroom. I'm specifically going to talk about applications to a science classroom though. But again, you could use it in any classroom. This particular model can be used both pre, during, and post-reading. So as a pre-reading activity, you would provide the students with a term. You would discuss possible definitions and meanings. You might give them some examples. They would fill in their chart as they go, and then you would continue with the reading, referring back to the graphic organizer as their understanding develops. As a during exercise, you would have students select, or you would offer words that might be difficult or that are going to be key concepts. And again, same process, you would discuss definition, characteristics, examples, and they would work on creating and developing their own understanding. As a post-reading activity, they would have finished the reading and then would go back and select words that they had difficulty with, that they still don't understand, that they believe are very important or that you have specified as being key concepts, and following the same process, discussion, creating definition, characteristics, all those kinds of things. This really works as a way for students to create their own knowledge surrounding a concept or term and to really put it in their own words so that they can better engage with that term and use it within their own vocabulary. It also works as practice, so they have to create examples, they might use it in a sentence, they're going to have to interact with it. So it actually increases student use of that term rather than you just applying it and they have to spell it once or twice. All right. So Coburn in his article says that graphic organizers help students make connections between prior knowledge and new information. So this is exactly what we discussed a few seconds ago. If students have an idea of what a word might mean, or maybe you give an example and that makes sense to them, and then you connect it with the new information, maybe more specific or in-depth knowledge. So they might have heard about cells in a previous year, and now you're talking about more complex organelles or more complex processes. So now you're expanding upon their knowledge that they have from previous classes. Great. So as I explained before, it's usually 4 squares. I prefer to go beyond the 4 square model, so I added in another square. These are some sites that you can look at for examples and for a description of the Frayer model, and this is my version. So as you can see, I added in the image, which works really great within a science classroom for putting in a diagram or maybe graphic examples. So this works really well for visual learners or for people that feel a little more creative. You could also use it for graphs or data sets or things like that, so it lends itself really well to that extra kind of scientific aspect. So I did an example. This would be a science example. So you have a definition on the top left-hand corner and facts about the word or concept on the top right. Bottom left, you have examples. Bottom right, you have non-examples. These are things that do not apply to the word or concept. So this would actually be the opposite in a sense, prokaryotic cells. And then in the image section, I put a diagram of a cell with the nucleus label. So this, if I was a student, would help me remember what the nucleus is and what it looks like within the cell. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope this helped you understand the Frayer model and how you could use it within a science classroom.